Sorry for the weird camera angle. Um, just checking on this. I don't live stream often enough. Be very good at this process yet, but I wanted to live stream this instead of doing a full video. Sorry for the weird camera angle. I didn't want to be trying to do this around the camera because I know I'm just going to be bumping it a bunch. If anybody hops on, feel free to ask any questions about what I'm doing here or any of the other content that I've done recently. This is my zBook 14 G2 zBook mobile workstation. I've had this one for a few years now. It's like my third or fourth one I've had. Um, it's not. I kind of wish I kept the original one that I had because it was in such nice condition and I kept it really clean. But I buy and sell everything. So, anyways, what we're doing here is I've been using this for my everything laptop for the last little over 2 weeks now. So we're more than halfway through my 1 month of using it. But I have a problem that I've had with this laptop since I got it, and I just haven't addressed it because it's kind of a pain to fix. The left button click on here is flaky. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it clicks and holds, sometimes it double clicks. That's really annoying. It doesn't do it with any of the other buttons, it's specifically this one here. I bought another laptop that ended up having a bad motherboard, and I'm pretty sure that this trackpad is good. It came from the same laptop, so it should be a drop-in replacement, and I can just feel that this button is just better. Like, it feels the same as the other buttons, where this one feels different. So whatever's wrong with this one, it's a physical issue as well. A lot of people comment on the cleanliness of my laptops. My office is a converted garage, and I do my best to keep everything clean and dust free in here, but if there's any wind at all, everything I own gets covered in dust, and so I do dust and clean it off, but I'm not a dirty person. I just my office is just really, really dusty because it doesn't seal real well. Anyways, one of my absolute favorite features on this laptop is that the back cover comes off that easily, and we have access to everything. Once we get this battery out of here, battery looks fine. Then we need to take out the SSD. These are captive screws. All right. Then the next thing we need to do is remove about 50,000 screws. It's a lot. So we're first going to remove these Phillips so I don't have to change out my bit yet. That one I don't think I need to remove. Or I do need to remove, but just not yet. I'm sure this is super interesting watching somebody undo 1,000 screws. All right, so next thing I need to do is I need to pop out the rubber stopper. So what I'm going to do is put this way. I'm going to grab just this. I use it to remove SIM cards. I don't know if that's what it's for, but it works good for this as well. I say that and it's immediately. Boom. There we go. Now, this chassis is very stiff, and so it's good. I mean, having the chassis designed this way means that you have a very solid system. Feels good, lasts a long time, puts up with a lot of abuse, all that jazz. But it means that if you ever have to do anything, you're forever taking out screws. So I did repaste the CPU and GPU not that long ago, so we're not going to do that today. Oh, I do have one more Phillips head screw right there. That's that, so I know where it goes. All right, so we need a Torx bit, but I don't remember which one. Let's grab one that looks about right. A little bit loose. Go up this up. It feels good, nice and tight. We don't need to remove the RAM, that's not in the way. We'll just start here and go around the laptop. I'm using my ThinkPad T1 Gen 7 to stream off of. Anybody's curious. I'm using a cheap webcam I bought during the COVID lockdowns when webcams just exploded because we had to have one for my kids to use for school, and I literally couldn't buy one. So I bought one off of AliExpress. And it's not the best, but it seems to be working okay for this. Harder part of this is just getting all these screws out. Everything. They want to come up. Be careful because of those cables. Just double check to make sure I didn't miss any. Looks like I need to. Well, that one's not screwed in. That's for the keyboard. Make sure I didn't miss any. Cool for the. That's for the keyboard. Where are you getting stuck at? There we go. All right. So that is that removed. Here is our trackpad, and we have 2 more Phillips head screws to remove. So we could have removed these when we removed that one. I chose not to because I know which ones I need to put in first. I'm just going to flip this over and take a look. Now this looks a little bit different. So what is that for? I don't know what that is for. So we're going to see if it works without that. Might have been why I didn't replace it last time I did this. Okay. That is broken. Get this cable out. And this looks like it should flip up. Out there. All right, let's take a look at these two and see what we got going on. So they look like they're direct replacements. I'm not sure what this is. Anybody knows what this black thing is on the back? Who's watching this? Can tell me. I pulled that from a working system, so I assume that that is complete in its design. So I'm wondering if this is a later addition. I shouldn't peel that off. Let me see. Let me see if this one works first. We get to put in there like that. Put down. This cable goes in here. There's pins on top and bottom, so I guess it goes between the pin sets. Now I feel a bit silly because I've been in here before and it just isn't wanting to go back in. Here we go. Well, that's back in. Let's grab two of these guys. And if I remember, I just put one of these in. Just hold it into place. Now what we're going to do is put this back on just loosely. We're going to put the SSD in loosely, and the battery in again loosely. We're just going to take a look and see if that trackpad is working. Battery in all the way. Well, it's fully charged, so there we go. Give it a second boot. That worked. I mean, I was able to. No, I hit escape button. Never mind. There we go. No, that seems to be working. I don't know. Let me shut this down. Just make sure the battery doesn't fall out. There we go. Alrighty, let's take this back off for just a second. Okay, one thing with the keyboard, there's two little clips here that are just below the spacebar, and they have to clip onto this case. And I don't know if you saw that was bulging just a little bit, so we need to make sure we clip that down. Because I think that was what was interfering with the battery. If you're in the chat, go ahead and say hello. There's at least a couple of you there. That last Phillips head screwdriver or screw goes under the SD card. That one, last time I took this apart, this was what caught me up because I forgot about the SD card reader and the screw that was under it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws there, 9, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 25 screws to take this thing apart. Kind of a bit ludicrous if you ask me, but honestly, it's not that bad because other than repasting the CPU and like replacing the trackpad, you're not going to be taking apart the this whole chassis again. I'll be doing a full review here of this system, kind of my follow-up thoughts after using it for a full month as my only computer. Obviously, right now I'm using my P1 to stream with, but that's because I just, I needed a second computer. There's been a couple other things that I've used another computer for, like obviously work. I can't use this for my work stuff. just for like security and stuff. I can't. There's restrictions on that, but for streaming and playing games and stuff, I been my only computer. One more screw. Where did you go? There. All right. Technically, there's a couple more screws because we have to do the keyboard screw here. I didn't have it from the last time I worked on this, and the keyboard screw here the last time I worked on that. And then we have the screws for the SSD. Our little rubber things like getting in the right angle. They're starting to die a little bit. They're not as they get kind of mushy. I'm feeling next time they come out, they're not going to go back in. Get a battery in there. And back cover. Card reader. Bits back so we don't forget them. There's our space bar that needs to be, or the trim under the space bar that needs to be clipped in. Go for me. There we go. Not sure why it's going into the startup menu there. Well, I did make some changes in the BIOS because I had an issue that was driving me kind of nuts. It would wake every time I open the. Oh, that's working. Where's my mouse? Didn't we test this before we put it back together? Maybe it's just frozen. Hmm. Because yeah, now even the track point is working, and we didn't unplug that at all. Right, the keyboard. There we go. There's my mouse. I don't know what happened in that last boot, but there's the mouse. And, oh yeah, that feels so much better. Clicking on stuff. Yeah, that's so much better. So there we go. Replace the trackpad. If anybody is familiar with this at all, I'm gonna have to look that up and see what this black thing is on the back of this trackpad. Because I just, other than that, it looks identical to the one I've just put in. So I wonder if this is a feature of some kind that mine now doesn't have that I had before. So we'll have to see what that is. So, anyways, thanks for those who joined. I didn't get any questions, so I didn't have anything to answer. Like I said, I'll be doing a full review on my zBook 14 mobile workstation G2 after I've been using it as my only computer for a full month. It's a 5th gen Core i7. It does have dedicated graphics, and it has been an interesting experience using a, what is this now, 11-year-old, almost 12-year-old computer in 2026. So thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day.